I'm back again. You talked about Course Careers Technology Sales Course and what it did to change my life. Wait, there's more. Not only is it technology sales information technology courses as well, now there's human resources, customer success, UI UX, and did I even mention that there also is software development as well, front end, back end, and DevOps? Listen, this is something that you definitely want to take advantage of. So go ahead and click that link. Don't forget there's a discount from me if you click that link, and I hope to see you on the other side. Welcome, 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 welcome. Good morning. Good morning. I'm so excited to have you with us today. My name is Joseph M. Smith, and I have a special guest with us, Tina. Tina is in the building. How are you doing, Tina?
I'm awesome. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm so glad that we have this conversation rolling in today. And I just want to say thank you so much to not just yourself, but our sponsors, one of our sponsors, Course Careers. If you are interested in getting, as you saw in that advertisement, into tech sales, software development, and more, go ahead and check the link, especially if you're on YouTube. You can go ahead and check that out. And I want to go to the comment section because people are in the building already. We got Operation Tech Takeover says peace and blessings, family. Techniche tips and tech job Tina in the building together. You know this is going to be a banger. We got also, he said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the content. Remember, the Q&A portion of the show is exclusive to YouTube. Come on over with your questions. Ready for this pair of aces. Salute. He already knows the deal. He already knows the deal. So he's just laying it out for people. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Operation Tech Takeover. We got Dave also in the building. Always look forward to these. Appreciate you, Dave. And congratulations on getting the job. I saw the post. Congratulations, my friend, on doing that. We have Mimi Roberts in the building. She says, hey now. Hey now. She's excited to be a part of this. And Mitch as well saying, tech job Tina in the building. Love it, love it, love it. So I just want to just say before we get started in this conversation, we're all family at this point. So go ahead and put your comments below. You know, I'm gonna post it up. I'm going to talk about it. But also, if you have any questions, go ahead and put your questions. And what I'm going to do is for every question that we have, I'm going to start and I'm going to save it for later when we have the Q&A portion of this conversation, which is normally at the midpoint. So you want to stay for that. Go ahead and put your questions below because I'm definitely going to be answering those questions, myself and Tina, later on in the conversation. So that way you can get the information that you're looking for. So this should be fun. We actually have Crystal as well in the building. Hi, everyone. So glad that you stopped by, Crystal. This is an exciting conversation. Okay. I think this is, Joy the Recruiter's in the building. She says, hi, Joseph and Tina. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much. And my brother from another, good morning, Tech Back Trade. He is in the building. He's in the building. And if you don't know, we have a Monday morning show that will be expanding soon. I have a few things we're working out, but we're going to be expanding that soon. And we want you to definitely lock in with us 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 a.m. Central, upcoming on these Monday mornings. Talk That Tech, the morning show. All right. And Tech Back Trade. Yes, that's right, Mitch. And so without further ado, we're going to get into it. So if you all have questions, go ahead and put it down. Like I said, we're going to start and we're going to definitely go forward with that, with answering your questions later on. And so with that being said, let's talk about it. I mean, people may not know who you are. So Tina, tell everybody about who you are right now, and then we'll dive into your story. And I'm especially talking about the news that just broke recently about your current tech career. So let's talk about it.
All right, for sure. So I am Tina. I am just your down south Georgia country girl that broke into tech, basically. So I broke into tech summer last year, working in tech sales. Quite a journey since then, quite one I've been sharing with anybody who wants to listen. Just want to inspire people and let them know that if I can do it, you can do it too. So we definitely gonna get into it. I've had some success, some promotions, just really this tech industry has really just amazed me. Like I never would have imagined I would have been able to catapult as quickly as I did. So I'm really looking forward to getting into the conversation with you guys.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that we're here. You know, we have people in the building as well. Darcel, he's like, good morning, fam. Like, comment, and share. Thank you, ambassadors of the show. I really appreciate that for sure. Like you said, you're from the good old state of Georgia. Georgia.
Yes,
I love me some Georgia. I tell you, man. When I went down there, I wanted to move right away, but it didn't work out that way. But it's all good. It's all good. So you start off in Georgia. What did you start? What would you say your work really started? Was it? It obviously was in tech sales. What did you do before you got into tech sales?
Yeah, for sure. So my background, two things. I have a background in real estate and construction. So remember that as we have the conversation, because that played a major role in where I'm at right now. So the
Mm.
real estate side of my background, real estate investments. I also have a real estate license, right? The construction side of my background, I worked in construction materials. Did we lose my camera? Let's see here.
Yeah, but you can keep talking while you work that out.
All
It's all
right.
good.
So while I work out those difficulties, so my construction side of my background, I worked in construction materials
Uh-huh.
for a company that sold and manufactured brick, right?
Okay, cool.
So my customers were general contractors. Oh, here I am. General contractors, architects, everybody that worked in commercial construction, right?
Yeah.
Those were the customers we had. So remember that because it's going to play a role in the rest of the conversation. Real estate and
Uh-oh, there's
construction.
layers to this. Okay. I like it.
So that's where I came from.
Beautiful. So you're kind of hinting at different things, and so I'm just
Yeah.
looking at it, and I'm like, I wanted to kind of like because you say that there are layers to this conversation, layers to getting
Mhm.
to where you are. I wanted to point out something that I saw. I saw you had some experience in customer service, right, back in the day. Can you talk a little
Mhm.
bit about how that experience kind of even like right now, like how that experience helped you
Mhm.
with what you're doing currently?
For sure. So my customer service background is tied to my construction experience.
Ah,
When I worked in construction materials, I worked in the customer service department, and so it really built me to where I am today because I'm an introvert by nature, right? So if it were up to me, I could live my whole life and probably not talk to anybody, right? But
okay.
that's not reasonable. It's not realistic. We can't get through life like that unless you're a monk, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
Yeah.
when I got that customer service role, it forced me to be front facing with people, right?
Hmm.
And I really kind of grew into it. And I discovered that I really enjoyed those one on one conversations, building rapport with people, getting to know people's backstories, and just being able to help them solve their problems. That's basically
Yeah.
what that did for me. And so,
Beautiful.
definitely a transferable skill that is helping me today for sure. So, I really enjoyed that part of my background there.
Beautiful, beautiful. So you went from construction background to a real estate background to a customer
Mhm.
service background and everything in between, project management, things of that
Yep.
nature. And what was
Mhm.
that deciding factor? You said, like, even though I have all this experience and I love what I'm doing, I need more.
Mhm.
What was that turning tide for you?
Let me tell you what happened. So, when I was working my construction materials job, that was my 9 to 5. So I was construction materials by day, real estate investor by night, right?
Yeah.
Fast forward 2018, I got let go from my 9 to 5 job, right? We had a merger, all this stuff happened, right? So
Ooh.
that catapulted me full time into being a real estate investor. Well, 2020, the pandemic happened, right?
Hmm.
So that really changed the way I was doing business. We ran into all these supply chain issues. So suddenly my cost of business skyrocketed, right? And I didn't have a 9 to 5 income to support me to kind of hedge against, those losses and things that were going on. So I said, man, I got to figure something out. So fast forward to maybe like 2022, I started looking at options to go back to 9 to 5 work because I had not been working for anybody since 2018.
Oh, so just to clarify,
So
you were an entrepreneur since 2018, pretty
Yep.
much?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So spending this time being an entrepreneur since 2018, went through the pandemic, experienced those pains of not having the support of that 9 to 5 income, right? So I said, if I'm going to go back to a 9 to 5, it's got to make sense, right? I got to make a whole bunch of money, so on and so forth. So I started looking at the tech industry. At first, I started thinking maybe I'll go do software development, right? But that's time consuming. And mentally, I couldn't get it. I was like, this is going to take too long for me to master, right? So,
Yeah.
what can I do to help me break into this tech industry faster and get me a high paying salary, right? So, of course, I did what we all do. We get on YouTube, we start searching. I found all this and found all that, stumbled on tech sales through Cyrus, who everybody and their brother knows. So I went
Yeah.
down that rabbit hole and I decided that I would go the tech sales route. because I saw the uncapped commission. It was very much like running your own business. This is entrepreneurial. I know how to do that, right? Didn't
Yeah.
have a true hard sales background, but I said, you know what? I got everything else. I'm gonna figure it out, right? So that's what really catapulted me and brought me over to this industry. Just the need to have a high paying salary so that I can go out and do the things I want to do outside of my 9 to 5. That's what brought
Yeah.
me here.
Love it, love it. And shout out to
Mhm.
Cyrus as well. A lot of us
Sure.
would not be in the tech industry right now if it wasn't for that
Mhm.
example. So you got to give credit to who credit is due. And we
Yep.
appreciate you. Thank you so much, Cyrus, for just kind of being open and transparent about your own journey. Right.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, with that being, thinking about your story, I was just
Mhm.
thinking as you were kind of having this conversation that you have certain skill sets, like Liam Neeson, have a set of skills, right? Your
Right.
skill set was you had a go-getter mentality, you had an entrepreneurial mindset, which is kind of like, again, tying to that go-getter, I'm gonna
Mhm.
make it happen sort of thing. When you got to the course, how easy or how difficult was it, if you want to give it on a scale of 1 to 5, to go through that particular course? And I'm assuming I'm assuming, but you said Course Careers, a tech sales course. That's the
Mhm.
course you did.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, proud sponsor of the show, so that's pretty cool.
Yep.
So
Big up.
you did that. How difficult was that period of time going through the course, and how long did it take you to complete it?
Let me tell you, when I started the course, okay, I had already watched so many testimonials of other students that had went through the course, yours included. And so I really paid attention to how long did it take them to do it? Trying to get an idea, trying to plan, okay, what's my
Yeah.
plan of attack for this thing, right? So I was actually watching, I think it was Ren. She was talking about how she went through the course in 2 weeks, right? And got a job in less than 30 days. So I said, bet. I'm making a plan. If she can do it, I can do it, right? So I said,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna get through this course in 2 weeks, come hell or high water, right? So I signed up for the course and I said, okay, if I want to get through the course in this time frame, I need to study this amount of time per day, get through this amount of lessons every day so that I can get finished, right? And for me, education is like I'm really good test taker. I'm really good studier. So for me, on a scale of 1 to 5, and one being the easiest for me, I thought the course was probably maybe I said like a 2.5 for me, because I'm always reading. I'm always doing this. It's just a matter of
Mm,
just getting it done, right? So I
yeah.
went through the lessons, did the quizzes, found study sheets, did everything I needed to do, and I finished the course itself in about 3 weeks, right? Finished
Okay.
the course in about 3 weeks. So if I had to say, even if I added another few days to it, definitely was done in less than 30 days with the course.
Wow.
Mhm.
So less than 30 days with the course, and
Mhm.
finding the job, or was that
Yep,
took more time?
and finding the job. I um
Wow.
I applied for the role that I am at today while I was still in the course, right?
Mm.
And landed that interview within that 30-day period.
Wow. So
Mhm.
you were not playing any games.
No, I wasn't.
You
I was like, I don't come here to play. I was like, I need to break into tech today. I don't got time to play.
Yeah, yeah,
For
no,
sure.
I think that's something to be said. Um,
Mhm,
Now let me ask you this, because like you said, education is a huge part of your
mhm,
story. You love education. What
mhm,
do you think that then, because some people ask me, oh man, I can't get into tech because I need to have a bachelor's, or you have a master's, which I'm gonna tell everybody right now. I took a break from my master's so my wife could finish hers. She's on her last semester, so
mhm.
congrats to her. I'm happy for
Oh,
her.
for
I'm
sure.
excited for
Yeah.
her, and I may go back depending on the price tag.
Yeah.
But
Right.
but it's not like I completed it. At the same time, how did education play a role in you getting your job?
Well, for sure. So it's funny because when I remember that when I had first gotten the offer letter and everything, I was talking to the recruiter and she was asking me, "Oh, so you got your bachelor's and your master's?" I was like, "Yeah." She said, and one of the things she said that I remembered, she said, "It's really not important that you have your master's." She said, "I love that you have that though." But she said, "We've hired people with just GEDs."
Wow.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's to kind of let people know, no, you don't have to have a degree to break into this industry. It
Okay.
really helped me because, yeah, further down the road, when you start to get into those promotion, situations where maybe you want to go to VP or you want to go to yeah, that can be the deciding factor. That's when it really
Okay.
matters. But for the entry level role, it's like, nah, you don't have to have a degree to get in there.
Got you. So the
For
play
sure.
may be even. Like You get into
Mhm.
like an entry level role, like a BDR, SDR. You work yourself up. Maybe as you're going through, you have your job pay for your education,
Yep.
maybe,
Mhm.
and that way you can kind of get the education that you're looking for, but not on your dime, the company's
Mhm.
dime. Ooh,
Yep.
that might be a play. I don't think we really talked about that on this channel. That
Mhm.
play, So if you are interested in getting your education, but you didn't have the opportunity to for whatever reason, then that might be an opportunity right there in itself.
Yep.
So we got to talk about it. How difficult was the interview process for you?
All right. So the interview process was 3 rounds, right? I would tell you, I was like, I'm not gonna mess this up. I studied. I'm like, my thought process was I am breaking into tech, right? And I want this job. Right. What do
Come
I
on
need to
now.
do? Right. So I wrote a whole interview script. I'm practicing, I'm recording myself, I am critiquing myself to death to make sure I got all my ducks in a row, right? So 3-round interview. First round with the in-house tech recruiter, 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
I had looked everything up on her. I knew her background, how long she been in the company, where she came from. I probably could have told you what her favorite color was, right?
You did research.
Right.
Well,
So we
hold
have
on.
the
Let's pause
interview.
right there,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
people miss that out, and we're gonna emphasize that.
Yeah.
You have to do research on the company and who you're talking to.
Yep.
If you can find out that they like to go skiing, bring it up. like
Yep.
like you have to be. I'm trying to think of a famous. I was thinking Columbo, but that's kind of old school. Like people may not know who Columbo is, but like a
Right.
modern investigator, you have to do your research. I just want to make people
Yep.
sure people understand that. But let's continue. Go ahead.
Okay, for sure. So even going into the first round interview, first let me tell you what helped me get the interview. All right. After I applied for the job, I sent a connection request to the recruiter. I put a really nice simple note. It wasn't a book. It just said something like,
Yeah.
"Hey, I really love having, tech industry professionals in my network. I love to connect with you." And that was it. And I sent it. About a week later, I get an email from her. And the first thing she says was, "I really love that LinkedIn note that you sent me. I really like to interview you." Right. So that
Beautiful.
helped me get the interview right
Wow.
there.
You didn't even ask for it.
Right, I didn't even ask for it. I'd applied, but I didn't mention it in the connection request, right?
Wow.
Yeah, because I mean, recruiters get pummeled with those questions all the time. I said, I'm not gonna do
Hold on.
that.
Let's stay right there for a second. Say that
Yeah.
one more time in case somebody missed that. What did you just do? Because some people are like, man, I'm trying. Say that one more time.
Yep. So after I applied, I found the recruiter on LinkedIn. I sent a connection request. You know how you can put a note in your connection request?
Yeah.
So in my connection request, I put a note. It was really nice and simple. It said, "Hey, I really like having industry professionals in my circle. I love to connect with you." And I sent the connection request. And that was it.
Boom.
Hmm.
Short
That was
and
it.
sweet.
Yeah,
We're gonna
absolutely.
continue with your story. Don't forget, I'm not gonna forget you, but I just want to pause
Hmm.
right here because a comment did come up. It said from a LinkedIn user, you don't have to have a degree, but a lot of tech companies want people to have a degree. It really depends on the company. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that is
Hmm.
true. Oh, I worked at a company very recently where they basically like, listen, bachelor's degree or nothing. We don't accept anybody that doesn't have a bachelor's degree minimum, and they stood on that. They stood on that. And then there's other companies, like you said, they're like, listen here, if you can do the job, that's all we care about. Do the
Hmm.
job, get in. So that's definitely true. And another LinkedIn user said, I agree, try to work for a company that will pay for your education. I
Yep.
think that's a great play. Definitely, let's definitely do that. We recruiters appreciate a note when you send a connection request. So this is a recruiter. It may be Joy. I can't tell right now for whatever reason, but no,
Yeah.
it's true. Like just sending a little simple connection request that is, just saying, hey, I love to connect with like-minded individuals. It shows that
Hmm.
you could do a nice touch without pestering somebody,
Yep.
and they like
Mhm.
that. But let's continue back with your story. You were talking
Okay.
about that connection request. She said,
Hmm.
yes, I want to interview
Hmm.
you. What happened next?
All right. So once I got the email saying that she wanted to interview me, we interviewed like I got it on a Monday. I think we interviewed on like a Wednesday, right? That same
Nice.
week. And so it ended up being a very conversational interview. I had done my research. I had practiced so much that I was really over prepared, but it gave me confidence, right? So she and I, we had a 30-minute conversation, right? And actually our conversation was so good that we went over the 30-minute window, and she was a little bit late for her next meeting. But
Ooh,
one of
good
the
sign.
things that's good. I always tell people, if you go overtime, that is a great sign. If
Yes.
you show up for an interview and it's a 30-minute window and you only get 10 minutes, not so good, right?
Yeah, he's like,
Not so good.
they moved on mentally. It's okay.
They moved on, yeah. But we had a really great interview, and one of the things that she did, and I was like, oh man, I'm so happy she closed this thing, right? Or I closed it, I guess. Before we got off the phone, she went ahead and she booked my second and my third round interview while we were on the
Woo!
phone.
That's right. Did you
Yeah.
close her, or did she just say like, hey, listen, I'm booking you now?
Yeah, I kind of led with, hey, so what are next steps? What happens next? And so she said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and set you up for the second and third round interviews. And so we talked through the
Beautiful.
schedule and everything. And she sent me the calendar links and all that before we got off the phone.
Man alive. That's what
Yeah.
you want. That's what you want.
That's exactly what you want.
Oh man. So obviously you did well in those interviews and you got the job.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so funny because like I said, I practiced. I had like a mock cold call script. I had all this stuff written out. There wasn't even a mock cold call. Every 3 rounds was conversational, right? And they all went over the time frame. It was just like more so, tell me about yourself. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why it went so well. Remember what I told you what my background was, right? I work in construction tech, right? Yeah. You on mute, Joe.
Oh yeah, I was just glitching for a second. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
agreeing with you. Yep.
Yeah.
Construction tech, real estate. Keep going, keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, so that's really what helped me, because when I got to the second round interview, it was with the hiring manager who became my boss for the SDR team. He loved that I had a construction background, so we talked about that. And let me tell you something else that helped me get this role, because I tell people all the time, lean into your background experience. Whatever industry you came from, there is a tech for that,
Yep.
right? There's a tech for
Yes.
everything, right? So don't say, oh, I've only got retail experience, I can't break into tech. There's retail tech. Oh,
Yeah.
I've only been a teacher all my life. There's ed tech. So there's a tech for everything. And so that's
Come on
what
now.
helped me. There's construction tech. you know, so I was able to break in. And one of the things I did during my job search was I went back to my previous role at that company and I said, what technologies did I use? What softwares did I use? Where are the opportunities here? And the company that I'm at was on that list. I'd used their software in that job, right? That
Oh,
helped
wait
me
a
during the
second.
interview.
Pause
Yeah.
right there. Say that one more time for those in the
Yeah.
back. You used
Yeah.
the software that they were selling
I'd used that
already.
software that they were selling at a previous job.
Oh my goodness. You have a hands-on experience.
Yeah. So that was my side door into tech. So
Love
they
it.
love the construction background and they love the fact that I had used the software. And so that made for a breezy interview. So I tell people, lean into your background experience. The interview process will be so much smoother if you could talk to something that you know about.
Love it, man. Love it. If you loving this, like, comment, and share this with others. There may be some right now who said, listen, I'm having a hard time. Maybe they're not leaning into their previous experience like Tina's mentioning right now. Maybe they haven't sent that connection request like they should have, and they sent a paragraph with it's like a cover letter to the person, and they try to fit it into the 150 characters, whatever.
Right.
Maybe they're not prospecting. Maybe there's something that they're missing. This is information that they definitely want to take advantage of. We have Tech Job Rodney in the building, said huge fan of Tina. LinkedIn user said good stuff, Tina. Like, this is great information, and we want people to get it. Also, if you want to find out more information, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I got to pause because the comment section is blowing up right now. Operation Tech Takeover says, if you want to see the examples of what tech job Tina's talk about, she put the recording of the interview process on her channel. I watched it twice yesterday. So that's good. And just a quick tip for your interviews: being concise is key. That's true. Sometimes if interviews go a bit longer, it can be a positive sign. But if they drag on because the candidate is rambling, it might not be the best indicator. Good point. Just something to keep in mind for smoother interviews. Yes, if you can stick to that STAR method, ask questions on a 1-to-1 ratio, I'd say that's your golden place to stay at. STAR, situation, task, action, result. What about you? Nice formula. just
Yep.
keep it nice, concise, and actually be engaging with the interviewer. Good
Mhm.
point. Good point. So now you got the job. You're
Yep.
there. They
Yep.
hired you because you're such an amazing candidate. You did such an amazing job in the interview. You're Tina,
Right.
right? What was it like for you to transition from being just another SDR in the cog, right, to growing and becoming what you are right now, an account executive, and in 9 months?
Right.
Let's talk about it.
Right. Okay, for sure. So when I started in the SDR role, of course, I didn't know what to expect. Never been an SDR before. Just coming in here.
Yeah.
But I came in, man, with an open mind. I said, I am going to be a sponge. Like, I'm just going to pay attention. I'm going to
Yeah.
look, learn, listen, right? And so that's what I did. And one of the things that really helped me is the first thing I did when I got in there, I started to seek out the highest performers on my team because I wanted to know what they were doing and how they were doing it. I was like, obviously, they got a system in place. I just need to figure out what it is and copy it, right?
Yeah.
And so I kind of started looking at like the top 3 people on the team. And then I started to focus more on the number 1 person on the team, right? And that person really helped me, kept me motivated, right? Kept me kind of on my toes. I'm doing what I'm doing. It was healthy competition, right? I'm making my
Uh-huh.
business to chase this person up the leaderboard, is basically what happened. And so in my chase up the leaderboard behind this person, I found myself in several top performing positions, a lot of number 1 spots and
Mm.
the whole 9. It was just so fun for me. It really was like a game for me. It's a game of chase, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I
Tom and
really
Jerry.
enjoyed that. Absolutely, absolutely. And one thing I can say for sure, because of the industry that I am, the prospects are so easy to talk to. I'm a very laid back, personality, right? And when I first got there, I was so concentrated on my script. What do I say? How do I say it? And then one day I said, you know what, Tina, we just gonna talk to these people,
Yeah.
right? Bump the script. We just gonna talk to these people. And that's what I was doing like from the start. And it was working. And I was getting such good results just having regular conversations. I'm not sounding salesy. I'm almost talking to you like we are friends. We're here, we're
Mm.
at the cookout, we're enjoying our food, and we're just having conversation. That's kind of
Yeah.
how I approached it. And it worked.
Ooh. Ooh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do something I never did before.
Uh-huh.
First of all, let's 2 things. Let's break down what you just said about
Yeah.
chasing, right? When
Mhm.
you're chasing somebody, what are you looking at to say, okay, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that? Like, can you describe the
Mhm.
chase in more detail just to give people a vivid look at what you're doing?
For sure, for sure. So what I look for in the person that I want to chase, we're measured in a few different ways in the SDR role. They look at your activity, and of course, they're looking at the amount of qualified opportunities you're putting up, right? This
Yeah.
person was doing both. She was like making 100. If they wanted us to do 70 activities. She had 100, right? They
Ooh.
wanted us to have 70 qualified ops. She's over 100, right? So I'm like, okay, let
What?
me look at this person. Yeah, she's like killing it, right? In all aspects, right? So that's what I look for. Like, I look for a person that is killing it in several different areas, right?
Wait, oh, you
And
said
then she
100
was
100%. I thought you said 100 qualified ops.
no,
Like,
no, 100 qualified ops.
s- oh, oh my.
Right. So she's killing it. She's killing it. And not only is she killing it on the leaderboard, she's a very humble, super nice person, right? Just good
Yeah.
people, right? So I look for all those things. So not only is she proving that she's coachable, but she's a leader without being an official leader. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? She's helping others. She's doing all these things. Like she's an all-around like player here, right? And so that's what I looked at as far as who do I want to chase. And that's why I chose her. She was killing it.
Wow, wow, wow. I'm so glad you broke that down because
Hmm.
basically you saw that this is a person that is exceeding quota because in her mind, probably my quota is 100 100 what you call activities, right? My quota
Hmm.
is to get 100 qualified ops. That's insane. Yeah, that right there is insane. If you think this is insane, I want you to blow up the comment section right now. You said 100 qualified ops. That's is that in a month? Is that in a quarter? Like, is that in
No, it's
H1? Like,
actually a month. So one thing I'll tell you
what?
about my job, the majority of our leads are warm inbound leads. We have
Oh,
such a
wow.
massive marketing department that we get flooded with like warm leads, right? So
Oh, that's
SDR
good.
team is working warm leads, which is why you're able to get so many qualified opportunities in a month. It definitely helps. I'd much rather call a warm one than a cold one, right?
Bro,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just saying if y'all are
Mhm.
hiring, there's a bunch of SDRs that'll be knocking on that door. if y'all don't
Right.
understand, having warm leads,
Mm-hmm.
that's big time right there.
Yeah.
And the fact that she, because y'all get commissioned. I'm not going into details,
No,
but
no,
y'all
no.
get
You
commission,
good. You
right?
good. Yeah.
Woo,
Yeah. It's
woo.
based plus commission,
Oh
uncapped.
my gosh, she probably got somebody's salary just in that 1 month.
Yep.
She got somebody's salary. All right, all right. The next question I got to ask you again. This is more of something I never really ever did, but I want to give people an understanding of what conversations with Tina would be like at the job. So if you don't feel comfortable doing this, that's fine. But let's imagine that I'm a prospect, right? I don't know all the questions, but
Yeah.
I would
I'll
love to
set
hear
you
it.
up.
You know some, yeah. All right. So I'm
Okay.
just Joe Schmo calling it. Calling in.
Yeah.
You're calling me because it's a warm
Yep.
lead, right?
Yep.
So let's just do it because I want to just hear this, like what
All
your
right. So
conversation's
imagine
like.
you're Joe Schmo and you run ABC Painting Company.
All right. All right. Hi
All right.
there.
You
My
ready?
name. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Phone rings.
Hello. Hello.
Hey, must be the Joe, please.
Hey, this is Joe. How you doing?
I'm good, Joe. What's going on? Hey, this is Tina over here at XYZ Construction Company. Just giving you a call. I'm not gonna hold you too long. I saw
Mm-hmm.
you were looking at the construction service. You trying to find some work?
Well, actually, I was. I actually, checked your website out, and I was actually reaching out. You guys are quick. I just did it like 5 minutes ago.
Oh yeah, Joe. We don't play. We're in a hurry to help you, Joe. We want to help you. So tell me what you got going on. I see you do a painting company. What kind
Well,
of painting you doing? Inside, outside?
well, we do an exterior. We're basically doing the outside of the houses. We really just wanted to kind of find ways to just basically scale up. Do you guys help with that? I don't know. I'm just reaching out.
Absolutely. We do. We do. We do. I love that. How long you been painting, Joe?
Man, I've been painting since I was knee high, as they say. I was
Oh
I
man.
started off in a good old Florida, working there for a while. I lost my accent because I moved up north. But I've been painting since I was a little one. I really have, but I, with my daddy and he just started something in the summertime and but now I try to, take on the family business and really do something cool with that. So
I
that's
love
what I'm at.
that, Joe. I love a family that congratulations on that, Joe. You've been painting since you was knee high. That mean you might know what you're doing, right?
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
I love that. So let's talk about it a little bit. Tell me what your territory is. You covering the whole state? What you doing?
Right now, I'm just doing the northern part. I'm doing Jacksonville area, Florida
Okay.
right now. Looking to expand up a little bit in the Pensacola area. That area will be pretty cool.
Oh, I love that. Love that. So let me ask you a question. When the projects that you're working on now, how are you getting
Uh-huh.
them? How are you finding out about them?
Well, word of mouth mainly. We have from clients. We put up those good old signs after every single client that we do for the exterior, and that's how our business have grown. We do advertisements and marketing stuff like that. We do that as well. We do like in the not really much online, but we do a lot of the marketing on newspapers and things like that, the traditional way.
I love it. I love it. So it sounds like you're just looking for some additional avenues, kind of get your name out there, right?
Yeah, that would be helpful. We could really use it.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, let's go ahead and get you situated. I'm going to connect you with my team member. We'll show you what we're all about and see if we can give you some extra solutions. How about that, Joe?
That sounds good. That sounds good. uh
Fantastic. Well, hold one moment. I'll get you connected to my specialist and we'll go ahead and get you rolling.
Boom, and that's
No,
it.
that's it. That's it.
Don't no time. You don't have to worry about time and dates. You can just do it right then and there. You guys are like that
I can
quick.
do it right then and there. I can send you, boom, right to demo.
Clap it up for Tina. Clap it up for Tina, y'all. Put some clap emojis in there. It felt like a conversation. You even brought me
Yeah,
back to a childhood that never really happened. I never lived in Florida or anything
right.
like that. But you brought me back to a childhood of like, man, I was knee high with my father doing this. That
Yeah.
sentimental portion of it really resonates
Hmm.
with me. Obviously, it was a warm lead already, so I was looking
Yeah.
forward to that call. But just having
Hmm.
that, just you being you, and the reason why I wanted you to do this is because I want people to see if you're just
Hmm.
you on the phones, that's sometimes all you need. I mean, not all you need. You have to have some skill, you
Right.
have to work on some stuff, but that is a
Hmm.
great baseline to work. When I'm talking to people, I'm joking around. I'm saying, how was your night? My night was not fun. I woke up with a toddler's foot in my face. They got in my bed again. I got 6 kids. I got to figure out how to do, so I have
Right.
these kind of real conversations.
Yep.
I even reached out to somebody the other day who happens to work part-time in construction, but she works for another company. I said, hey, I do you have a roofing estimate? Has nothing to do with what I need to call her about. But like, I see you in construction. Do you have any roofing referrals? Because I need it. Anyway, speaking about referrals, I want to refer you to this great company I work for. Da, da, da. You know, you have to find a way to be
Yep.
creative, have fun with
Mhm.
it. If you could bring joy, no pun intended, Joy the recruiter, if you're still here, if you could bring joy to that conversation, that's a fantastic thing. So I love it. They loved it too. The comment section started blowing up as well. Joy
Cool.
says, I'm Joy, this recruiter. I'm a sales recruiter in tech industry. I create content intended to help job seekers. Please feel free to contact with me. Good to have you on there, Joy. Frederick said, "Love this." Tech Back Trace says she's herself on the phone. Don't miss
Mhm.
that when it doesn't sound like you, and you the prospect can tell and make the call kind of awkward from them.
Mhm.
Yep, that's true. Tina said you killed it. Thank you both. And then Tech Job Ronnie said Tina's at spot on with the descriptions. I'm 3 months into my SDR role. Thanks to listening to her content, working towards becoming an AE. And then we have claps from LinkedIn user. I'm assuming that is Joy again. You were great. And but this is the thing. I'm gonna go back to like you said. You said earlier you were not a big salesperson. It wasn't until and also Tamara, I know you had a question there. Don't worry, I started. We're gonna save it for the Q&A portion. I got you, girl. That's my girl from DC. So I got your back, girl. But I wanted to ask before we're gonna position and transition over to that because I really want to get to the AE story, also
Mhm.
level careers and how that helped you. You took course careers to become an SDR. Then you said, "Listen, I love education. I want to grow." So you took the the AE course with level careers. The instructor for that is Kevin Katie Dorsey, which a lot of people know, like huge in the tech industry. How did those things help supplement you? Because you have a great personality, you're educated, you have those backgrounds. Like, how really helpful were these courses to you? Were they just like, I didn't really need them, or was it like, you know what? I'm so glad I took these courses that helped me to get to where I am.
For sure. And it's like you said, it's like, yeah, I felt like I had the personality, but I couldn't, that's only gonna take me so far, right? So I
Mm,
felt like, okay, I need to understand there are certain concepts I need to understand, certain methodologies I need to understand. So I needed that baseline education. I needed to know the lingo, you know what I mean? So those were those things that I really got from course careers, of foundational, information that it's like, yeah, I could
oh
go and
yeah,
Google myself to death, but that's gonna take too long, right? Give me
yeah,
something in a nice, neat package, teach me exactly what I need to know. And
yeah.
that's what that did for me, man. It put me in the mind frame of thinking like a tech salesperson, right? And
Beautiful.
that's what I really loved about course careers. The account executive course that I took did the same thing. It keeps me in the
Mm,
mind, okay, I need to start thinking like an account executive, right? Yes, I have a
yeah,
great personality. You say, okay, great. That's a plus, but I also need to start thinking like an AE, right? And so
yeah,
the account executive course really did that for me, as well. Just helping me kind of think about, okay, how can I lead very well in discovery, right? Don't
yeah.
forget about the psychology of your prospect or the psychology of your buyer, because a lot of this
Ooh,
is all psychology, right? We're
yeah,
people at the end of the day, right? So
yeah,
it's like we lead. There's logic and there's emotion, and both of those play a role in what we do every day. So
yeah.
just understanding that was paramount for me.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. And I feel the
Mhm,
same way. I feel like what course careers did for me, it helped me to put language to what some things that I were doing already that will help me translate to the
mhm,
interviews and even to BPs in regards to the understanding the SaaS industry. And when
mhm,
I'm going to take it, I'm going to take the Kevin Dorsey course as well. But
mhm.
I'm imagining it does the same thing and some because Kevin Dorsey's amazing. I did the free
Yep.
introductory courses already, and those were amazing with him. So that's why I'm
Mhm,
just kind of like looking forward to it. He literally taught the SDR courses. Oh, he did a training for SDRs in my previous job. So he's
hmm.
definitely there. I got Howard G in the building before we continue. What's up, sir? Salute to you as well. He said, salute to another story being shared. And that's what this channel is about, sharing these amazing stories. Okay, guys, I know we got excited and I know it took a little bit more time in the story portion, but I have one more question before we transition over to the Q&A portion. So please rock with us still. This was just such a good conversation. Again, if you like this, go ahead and like, comment. If you feel like there's somebody that could really benefit from this as well, share this with somebody else. And I think that this is definitely something that people can benefit from this conversation. So going right into we talked about it. It wasn't hard for you to become an AE. You had to do certain things to get there. What were those things that you did? And again, this took you 9 months to get there. So what are
Mhm.
the things that you did to actually transition to becoming an AE?
Well, one of the things I want to mention is during the interview process, um, we were very vocal about what are your, aspirations as far as your career. And during the interview, one of the things that I loved is those managers and even the recruiter, they were very vocal about the fact that, look, we don't hire SDRs intending for them to be SDRs. We want you to move on from here, right? We're very
Mm.
passionate about making sure that our people get where they want to go within the company, right? And so that was one of the things that really spoke to me because I already had aspirations. I knew I want to go AE, right?
Yep.
Which was kind of funny because I don't know anything really about this industry. I'm the new kid on the block, and I'm already talking about, I ain't even started as SDR yet. I'm already talking about, I want to go AE, right? So, but they say, I mean, start with the end in mind. So here I am, right?
Of it.
So for me, it's like I knew that it would help me become AE if I had a stellar performance as an SDR, right? So I worked hard to make sure
Mm.
I stayed on the top of them leaderboards. I top performed every single month I was there, right? If I wasn't number one, I was number two. If I wasn't number two, I was number three. I don't think I've ever been anything less than one, two, or three since I've been there, right?
Woo.
And
Talk
just
that talk.
and it caught the attention of a lot of people. Like at my company, not only was my SDR manager happy, but it also caught the attention of directors and the VP of sales, and and things like that. And so I think once that caught the attention of everybody else, the logical next step for them was like, oh, she make a good AE, right? Especially because I had the
Mm.
construction background experience. I know how to talk to the people because I'm used to talking to them. Remember, I told you, remember my background?
Yes.
I
Yes.
spent years talking to GCs, masons, architects, all the same people I'm talking to in my job, right? So that's what helped me, right? So that right
Woo.
there is like, man. So I gotta tell you, like a few months into my SDR role, I think I was an SDR for like 4 months, and an AE role came available. And so my manager was like, hey, the AE role's coming up. I think you'd be really great for it. You want to go for it? And at the time, I was like, I wasn't really ready. I kind of wanted to really continue, what I was doing in the SDR role. So I said, no, I'm gonna
Yeah.
wait. And in my mind, I was like, if I'm
Wait
gonna
a
go AE,
second.
I want to go.
Wait. How early was
Yeah.
this when they offered it to you?
I was 4 months in.
And you said no? You're not ready?
Yep. Nah, I'm
Ooh.
not ready. I want to wait. Yeah, I want to wait
Wow. I
because I was
respect
still,
that.
yeah, for sure. I could. I was like, so I still felt like I had more that I wanted to do in this SDR role right now. I was on a good track. I was starting to top perform. I was like, let me continue acclimation with the company because I
Uh-huh.
knew the opportunity would come again. So I wasn't really stressing it, right? And so I stayed in
Mm.
the SDR role some more. And I said, you know what? I'm going to transition to AE. It's going to be first quarter 2024. That's when I'm going to do it, right?
Wow.
And, that was my plan, and that's how it ended up working out, man. So everything kinda just lined up perfectly, man. It's like this whole process is almost like everything is lining up perfectly. In such an unexplainable way, in such an uncanny way, that the only answer is God has got his hands, like, in my life, right?
Amen to
Just
that.
moving pieces, because the way
Uh,
everything is falling together, that's the only explanation right now. It's been crazy, a crazy 8, almost 9 months for me. Mhm.
man alive.
Mhm.
I'm just like taking it all in,
Mhm.
because some people would have been like, first 4 months in, you're off me AE position, done. Shake my hand, let's
You're
go.
right, you're right. You're
But you,
exactly right, and even after the fact, I was like, "Are you sure you don't wanna take this route?" And then I had to listen to my gut, and my gut said, "No, Tina, it's not your time right now. Just wait a little bit longer." So I
oh
listened and I waited.
man,
Mhm.
wow. You know what, y'all? Y'all better clap it up. Clap it up for Tina.
Mhm.
This has been amazing. We are going to transition to the SDR portion, but I wanted to plug her channel before we did that because there's some good stuff that I wanted to make sure that you all are aware of real quickly. So she does have a channel as well where she actually documents her journey. So if you're not familiar with Tech Job Tina, that's how it goes, right? Tech Job Tina. Did
Yep,
I
you
say it
got it.
right? Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Check out Tina. If you're not familiar with her, go ahead and listen. I'm not here to gatekeep nothing. I'm here to just share the wealth with everybody. So go
There you
ahead to her
go.
channel. After this, you could go ahead and check out Tech Job Tina. You could see all the videos that she has. She's documenting her journey, her story from becoming AE, and I love that she documented a series becoming AE before it even happened. So you
Yep.
definitely want to check in with her at Tech Job Tina. See, and look at this. This is Faith right here. She started this, and about what, 29 episodes in, she actually
Mhm.
was able to land that role. I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much for sharing that. And we're gonna go to some of our sponsors. Level Careers actually is gonna be is one of our sponsors for the show as well. So if you are interested in doing Level Careers, Course Careers, or even Learnful, you come over to youtube.com/ at Techniche Tips, and you can go ahead and not only be a part of the Q&A, but in the description of the video, there are the links to those different courses if you are interested in doing those as well. IG, same thing. Go to youtube.com/ at Techniche Tips. It's actually loading up at the bottom. You could definitely check that out and lock in with us. We're going to transition to the next portion of the conversation. But before we do, I want you to see the question that's going to be the first question we're going to talk about. What suggestion can you provide regarding the connection request if you're already connected with the recruiter, besides explaining that you applied? That's the question we're going to talk about as soon as we come back from our commercial break. Thank you so much, everybody, for locking in with us. Like I always say, I appreciate you. We're not done yet. We're moving over to the other side. So we'll see you there. Do you feel stuck? Do you feel like you're just at the same place in your career and you don't really see a way out? This is a great time for you to take it to the next level. Level Careers is a course that I've been talking about for some time. From account executive and even sales engineering, there are courses that can help you propel from where you are now to where you want to go. Check out the link below, use my promo code Joseph10, and check out the free courses, whether that's the SOC analyst course, the account executive course, or the sales engineer course. Take your career to the next level. Hey, I didn't forget about you. You're a person that needs to be in a place where you are working close with someone else, a mentor, a friend, someone that could take you to the deeper and more intricate parts about being a sales engineer, but you don't know where to go. Learnful is a program that allows you to work with people that are high-ranking sales engineers, solution architects, solutions advisors, and they're able to not only mentor you, but teach you the ways to become a sales engineer that can be impactful for you. If you think that Learnful is for you, go ahead and click on the link below for more information. You can use my promo code Joseph150 to be able to save. Go ahead and click the link below. And now back to our show. All right, we're back. We're back. Welcome back. If you are not on, if you are on YouTube with us, that's great. We're so glad to have you with us. IG, if you want to ask any questions on the YouTube side, go ahead and come on over. Oh, what up? We got Tech Coach Ralph in the building. What up, brother? I'll plug in with Tech Coach Ralph as well. If you are interested, in fact, let me just do this real quickly before we go on. But Tech Coach Ralph, he actually has a YouTube channel as well. If you want to dive into the more technical side of things, you definitely want to lock in with him. He has a lot of great content, a lot of great things there for you all to participate in and see. So really quickly, we're gonna get back to the show, but I really just wanted to plug him in real quick because a lot of people don't know he has a lot of different things in regards to QA and coffee and kata and his automation. Like he goes in. So you definitely want to see all the things that he has there. Really good stuff, especially if you're looking to get more on the technical side of tech, right? If you want a real technical side of tech, like you could see, he has so many different things available on his channel. He streams live almost multiple times a week. So definitely lock in, definitely check in with him because he's got some good stuff for sure. Appreciate you, friend of the show, awesome friend of the show. And so with that being said, now is the Q&A portion of the conversation. Now is the time for y'all to go ahead and put your questions down below. And we definitely want to give Tina an opportunity to answer it. She's been so gracious with her time. This was a really good conversation. I mean, I'm looking at the time, but I'm having such a good time that I'm like, I'm wrestling with it. But I'm just gonna give a shout out to those that already said congratulations to you for getting the promotion. That's that I believe this is this is Joy the Recruiter. Then we have Chef Shah. She says congrats as well with the clapping emojis and another clapping emojis as well. And so let's go back to that question because we want to make sure we give time for the Q&A here. Tamara, she says, what suggestions can you provide regarding the connection request if you're already connected with the recruiter, besides explaining you have applied already?
Mhm. Well, this is what I would do. The plus is this person is already in your network. So now you don't got to worry about, oh, this person thinks I'm only connecting with them because I want a job. They're already in your network, right? So that plays in your favor. What I would do is this is an opportunity for you to sell yourself on why you're a good fit for the role, you know, and not just maybe use voice note, maybe send a nice voice note. They can hear your voice. You can tell them why you're a good fit for the role. Show them that you did some
Mm.
research on the company in that little voice note as to why you're a good fit for the role.
Ooh.
Maybe do a little video, maybe do a vidyard. They're already in your network. Maybe do a vidyard, do a little video showcasing why you're good for the role, right? So I think a lot of times we can kind of gravitate away from what everybody else is doing to get their attention. I think that's what you can kind of focus on. So instead of just saying, "Hey, I applied for the role, like to talk to you about it," come with a little bit more. Sell yourself.
I like that voice note part. I didn't even think about that. Like I
Mhm.
talk about videos all the time, but I never thought about like after you get the request saying, "Hey, I just wanted to reach out," and they could hear your voice, they could hear your tone, they could
Yep.
hear a lot from your voice. And I think that's actually a really slept on tool because
Yep.
oftentimes we're on LinkedIn on our computers, but if on our phones, if we go to the messaging app, there is a place where you can actually record your
Mhm.
voice notes there.
Yep.
So that's a good one that I'd never thought about before. Um, this is a really good one, actually. So I appreciate you saying that, and I would just kind of continue to encourage anybody who is trying to follow up with recruiter. Don't feel bad about following up. Just following up and finding something creative to say based off of what you can do research on, whether it's on their LinkedIn or you have to go off LinkedIn and trying to find some other social media platforms where they are there. Not to get too creepy, but something that could show them like you're doing the job, right? So like, oh, I mean, hey, it's a great time of year. I heard that this ski resort is a great one. You did some research and you found out that they like skiing, right? It could show that you can, especially for SDRs, BDRs, that you can do the job to get the job. So that's great. And y'all keep the questions rolling, family. If you guys have any questions, put it in the chat so I could see it. I don't have a call up show today, but go ahead and put it in the chat. If you want to call up though, and if you're willing to call up, just put like a phone emoji in there, and I'll know like, okay, I'm gonna need to put this call in chat today. But for now, what we're gonna do is just have you just type in your questions, any questions that you have, Bettina, or even myself. Randy says, "Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Tina. You killed it. Thank you both. That was awesome. That was awesome. Thank you so much for saying that. Definitely appreciate that for sure." I'm gonna go back because there's some comments. I want to make sure I didn't miss any comments that we didn't get a chance to address, but I think we were able to address a lot of them. Let me ask you this: what is the next thing for you now that you got the AE role? I'm assuming your next goal is to kill it
Mhm.
and see how far it takes you. But do you have a plan, or have you thought about what to do or what you're looking to do after now getting this goal of becoming AE?
For sure. So what I said I was going to do, I'm pretty much going to do the same thing I did when I got the SDR role. Just
Hmm.
started from scratch. Now I need to look on my team and see who is the top performing person. I need
Yeah.
to shadow this person, find everything I can about their processes, um, and kind of just take it from there and make it my own. So my goal is to get in here, be a sponge all over again, look,
Mm,
learn, and listen, and not only look within my company, but also look externally, right? So
yeah.
for the first time, I'm actually looking at coaches because I don't want to be mediocre. I enjoy top performing, and I
Yeah.
understand that the same skill set that made me a good SDR is not necessarily going to be the same skill set that's going to make me a top AE, right?
Mm,
So knowing that I need to seek outside mentoring, outside coaching. And so that's what I'm actually going to end up doing is getting a coach to help me, top perform and to help me do what I have to do so I can actually scale my career, right? So
yeah.
that's my next steps.
Yeah. And so um when you say coach, you mean like somebody that's like like somebody that's an AE that's coaching you how to become a better AE, you're saying? That's what you mean by
Yeah, yeah,
coaching?
yeah. Someone
Cool.
outside of the company that has some
Mm,
type of coaching system in place that I can
mm.
hire to help me, get in the position to top perform in this role.
Wow, I love it. I love it. Never
Mhm.
settling. Never
Right.
settling. I got some
Mhm.
I got some comments here, and I have a question for you as well. This is from Tech Coach Rob. He says also you can reach out to them saying, I see you posted this role and I'm interested to find out more to see if it'll be a good fit, see if I'll be a good fit for your company. Try to build a conversation. So this is basically going back to the recruiter and following up with
Mhm.
them. And he says the key is trying to get a response. The key is trying to get a response. Yes, yes. And then he said also going to watch the whole episode on replay, but want to thank Tina for her service to the community and congratulate her on her success. Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely, fantastic stuff. And Mitch actually said something that was really good too. It's like kind of like aligning with my question. Tina, is your end goal to be an AE, or do you eventually want to do something else, tech related or
Well,
non-tech related?
as of right now, I am definitely focused on the account executive role because I realize that the scalability on this thing is like moon, right? I can go to the moon with this, right?
Yeah,
Right. And that's what I want to do because I have things I want to do outside of work. I mean, I still enjoy real estate. I still want to invest in businesses. So, end goal, I'll continue to be AE, see where that takes me. And who knows, the tech industry is a big old world, right? So,
yeah.
you never know where you're going to end up. So, I want to remain open. As it stands today, I'm looking at AE, possibly probably going as far as mid-market. Enterprise scares me a little bit. But that's the plan right now, just to kind of look at AE and try to scale it as much as I can.
Love it, love it. I appreciate that for sure. And if
Mhm.
anybody has any additional questions, definitely put in the chat. But like I would say, now that I'm an enterprise SDR and we strictly work with, like my company, we work with enterprise enterprise. Like I
Yeah.
won't go into too much detail. But if you go
Mhm.
to our website, you could see all the different logos that we have. But what I would say is that I've heard that when you are dealing with enterprise level sales, right? You know, it's of course there's a different approach to it, but the
Mhm.
same amount of time that it takes you to close a smaller deal is the same amount of time it might take you to close a larger deal, depending on the complexity of the company, depending on what department you're working with. So that might be an interesting thing that when you talk to your coach about, they could probably break down for you. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's a difference. There's different nuances
Yep.
to it for sure, but
Mhm.
the essence of what that statement was, I thought was very
Mhm.
interesting. Mitch said Kayla Burke may be a good resource for you as well.
Mhm.
Obviously she's a big time account executive. She has a coaching
Yep.
program and things of that
Mhm.
nature. So that might be an opportunity as well. There's a lot of different account executives. So let me ask you this question. Actually, no, before I do, that we have a couple comments here and a question. Thank you both for being pillars in the community. I appreciate that. I don't feel like I'm a pillar yet. I just feel like I'm just,
Right.
I'm just trying to do my part. We got a question from, but thank you so much, by the way, Opportunity Tech Takeover. Thank you so much. I Tech Job Rodney says, how do you reset and restore your energy? Hmm.
That is a great question. So at my company, we have unlimited PTO, right? And our
Yeah.
managers encourage us to use it. So what I would do is I would take one Friday off a month, and it would be whatever that first Friday was after the month was over, because we're restarting the month, right? I would take that first, whatever that Friday was right after the month was over, I would take that Friday off and give myself a 3-day weekend so that I could recharge. In fact, I just did the same thing. My last day as an SDR was January the 31st, which was on a
Yeah.
Wednesday. So I took Thursday, Friday off through the weekend so I could have a 4-day weekend. So Monday I start my AE role. So I take advantage of my PTO.
I like that. I like that.
Mhm.
You know why I wanted to stop here and say that is because, and maybe I can speak to, sometimes I haven't been good at using my PTO in previous years.
Mm.
I just been that type of person where it's like, hey, listen, I rather keep, because I'm so used to using my PTO when my kids were sick, right? Or
Yeah.
something happened and I needed that time off. So I never really kind of planned it unless it was like a anniversary or something big. But that's so true. Like really kind of scheduling your PTO strategically like that
Yep.
is a
Mhm.
great way to keep yourself from not feeling because you can be burned out, not
You
feeling
can.
burnt out, not feeling like, oh
Mhm,
my goodness, I hate this, but like really having those rhythms. I like that idea. I like that
mhm.
idea. And what is that? Just 12 days a year on top of whatever
Right.
holidays you might
Yeah.
have and stuff.
Yep. Mhm.
And there's something about having like a 3-day weekend that really
Yep.
can be recharging to you. So I think that's great.
Mhm.
I mean, I have another one here. How you both are your humble servants. Oh, thank you. Your humble selves. Love to see it. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
I appreciate take over. All right, let me do a little of the glitz and glam. So let's talk a bit about what are like some of the perks that you have either received, seen, been a part of while working in the industry.
Well, one thing I love, fully remote. Like I can work
Mhm.
from wherever as long as I'm in the United States, I can work from anywhere. They don't care, right? I can sit on the beach if I want to
Yeah.
and do my job, right? I love that, right? I've never worked a job before that was fully remote. So I definitely love that. And then of course we have the unlimited PTO. And it's so funny because when you have unlimited PTO, nobody abuses it, right? You
Yeah.
just, I noticed nobody abuses it. You would think, you know, you tell people, oh, you got unlimited PTO, you can take off whatever you want. Now, nobody abuses it, right?
Yeah.
But I love the fact that if I want to take the time off, I'm not like, oh, I've only got 2 weeks a year. I don't gotta worry about that. So that's
Yeah.
been absolutely amazing. Those are the two biggest perks for me that I enjoy. Just being able to work from my house or wherever I want and take time off whenever I need it.
Yeah.
I love
I
it.
think I definitely need to get a guest on here who knows how to not take advantage. That's not the word I'm looking for,
Exactly.
but knows how to what's the word? Utilize. I just use that word just to keep it
Yeah.
nice and simple, but
Mhm.
really utilize and maximize the perks and incentives that you're getting from working in the industry because they're not there to hurt you. They're there to help provide a work-life
Mhm.
balance. They're there to kind of
Yep.
help stabilize things in your life. So we definitely, yeah, see, Mitch said it himself. He's like, maximize. That's the word that you want to
Yep.
use. Yeah, but I
Yep.
agree, like maximize it because there's some people that they truly do maximize it. They're doing their job, but they are able to experience life on a whole different level. I had somebody else back in the day, Damon Coleman. He was basically sharing his experiences being a tech nomad, spending months at times in the Philippines or different places. And there's a level of when it comes to life in regards to a quality of life that working in the tech industry can afford you.
Yep.
But sometimes being trapped in the mentality that you had before, in different industries won't open your mind up to like saying, man, I could do a lot more. I could, because like think about it. If you were to depending on the company and depending on what obviously, like you said, like you could only be in the United States, right? Same thing with
Mhm.
myself. But there's some companies where you could go international. If you were to take that money and go to some place like the
Yes.
Philippines, like Indonesia,
Mhm.
someplace, and you're just living your life, doing your job, working a different time zone,
Yep.
and all that money you bring over there, you live like a king. Like your style
Yes.
of king or queen, like your style of living is just like elevated, and it's so hard for us to think that way because it's hard for us to
Yep.
see it if we have not seen it.
Mhm.
So man, I just was thinking about that. But even going back to a question I was going to have for you about Caleb Burke when we brought her up, what do you do to evaluate if a coach outside of your organization is the right fit for you?
Well, one of the first things I want to make sure that you actually worked in the industry. We live in a day and age where everybody's a teacher and nobody ever did the thing that they're teaching, you know? You know?
Good
So
point.
I just real okay, have you worked in tech sales? Have you had successes, right? When I look at your life, is it something I want to mirror? Right. So of
Yeah.
course I'm going for the person that knows what it's like to be maybe a $500,000 a year AE and they've had successes in that, right? I can learn
Mm,
something from you, right? So that's what I'm looking for. Are you someone that, do you look like where I want to be, right? So that's kind of what I'm looking at. You worked in the industry, you have some successes, and plus there's a likability factor. What how do we vibe? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could be a rock star AE coach, but if we don't vibe, it's not going to work. I'm not going to receive any messages
Yeah.
from you, right? So, of course, that's part of it as well. Do you have the success? You've done the job, and can we vibe? That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. I think that's a
Mhm.
very important thing because sometimes, you may find somebody that, like you said, um, they may say that they're part of it, but then you do the research and you realize that they're not, or
Mhm.
they may be a part of it, but they may not have the time and willingness to kind of share of that time with you really kind of finding that person that once they have that, you could definitely share that with. It's great. I think that's going to be, I think it's a really good point. There's something else I was going to say too, but if y'all have any questions, go ahead and put in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to be respectful of my sister's time. You got a whole Saturday ahead of you.
For sure. For
So
sure.
and this is actually the Saturday you're taking to prepare for your AE role. So I want to kind of give you a
For
little bit
sure.
of your
It's all
time back.
good.
But
Sure.
y'all, if y'all have any questions for Tina, go ahead and put it in the chat below and I'll bring it up. And I think we talked about pretty much, let me see if there's any subject that I could think of that we could talk about. I'll definitely bring it up now.
And one thing I did want to bring up that we didn't talk about, the interview process for becoming AE. We talked about the interview process for me becoming SDR. So just something that some people may not understand. I had to go through a 3-round interview to become AE at my company as well.
Oh, wow.
So kind of touch on that a little bit. Was it hard? No, because I know everybody. I've been at the company already. I'm acclimated, which was a plus. That's a huge plus to moving up within the company as opposed to trying to start somewhere else. I already know everything, right?
Yeah.
So this is how the 3-round interview went for the AE role. First round interview was with the in-house technical recruiter, the exact same lady I interviewed with on the SDR side, right? It was very conversational. We talked, we cracked jokes. And in fact, one of the things she says, this is just a technicality, right? Everybody already wants you to be to be AE. It was so funny. So we had a really good conversation. She was an extremely nice lady. I really just love and respect her. She's awesome. And so she went ahead and she scheduled my interview, my 2nd round interview with the VP of sales for my company, right? So that was another conversational interview. We had a really good interview. I noticed just by looking at LinkedIn, I noticed she had been reading like fanatical prospecting. I looked on her LinkedIn and I saw she was reading it.
Nice.
Course careers, we know all about fanatical prospecting, right? So I brought it up during our talk and we kind of had a really good conversation around that, just, kind of strengthen that rapport. So we talked and everything. She was really nice. And we went ahead and scheduled the 3rd round interview, which that was the one that had the introvert in me stressed out. It was a panel interview, right? I had to develop a pitch, present a demo. I had to come up with all that stuff, right? And so I did the same thing I did during the interview process. I wrote a script. I wrote the script out. I recorded myself delivering the demo. My SDR manager, he helped me. Like we had one-on-one sessions. He was preparing me for AE. I love that about him. He's an SDR manager. He's trying to help me go to the AE team, right? So his help was like paramount in this whole thing as well, right? So I'm studying. I'm sweating bullets because I'm like, oh, I gotta present in front of a panel. I was so nerve-wracking, right? So I got in front of the panel. I'm expecting it to be a 1-hour-long interview. And when I get in there, the VP of sales says, look, I hate to throw you this curveball, but we got an emergency meeting with the CEO. A 1-hour interview is only going to be 30 minutes. Can you make it work, right? So I was like, okay, I come from the school of let's make it work. we gonna make it work, right? And I don't know if that was the universe helping me out.
Blessed are the flexible.
Right. So I ended up doing my pitch within that small window and it ended up working. They gave me great feedback that I can use in my AE role and ended up being a really good experience. So that was the experience going to AE at my company. 3 rounds of interviews with a panel interview at the end.
I love that breakdown. Thank you so much for sharing that, because sometimes I didn't move on to that position yet. I moved to another company, but it's so good to hear that side of it, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, listen, there is a level you are getting interviewed, but it's different because you're moving up internally. I love that. We actually got a comment from Techniche Rodney as well. How do you evaluate when it's the right time to accept risk to grow versus making an ego decision? Like when you decide to say, hey, I'm gonna go in 4 months, I'm gonna wait a little bit. When you ask me again in 5 months later, I'm ready. I thought, and he said, I followed. Yeah, go ahead. I forgot to read the rest of it. He said, I followed your blueprint down to the name respect. He says respect.
For me, I had to really evaluate, okay, what are the pros and cons of making this decision? Okay, if I pull the trigger now, what are the pros and cons? If I wait, what are the pros and cons? So once I actually laid it all out, I had to get past the excitement of, oh man, AE, thinking about that title, right? Oh, this is exciting. I'm going to go. But I had to really kind of just center myself and ask myself, are you really ready for it, right? I didn't want to get all wrapped up into,
Mm.
going after that title of account executive. I wanted to really sit down and weigh out the pros and cons of me going now versus going later. And that's how I came to the conclusion that, you know what, I'm going to pump my brakes. I'm going to wait. Right.
I respect that a lot. Kevin Dorsey talks about that too. He's like, some SDRs, they leave to become account executives because they think they don't realize how much they don't know, and some actually don't move forward because they realize how much they do know compared,
Right.
and I'm kind of paraphrasing. He didn't say that word for word, but
Mhm.
basically that's the premise of it. Is like there's so many people that they try to shift because of other things. Maybe they need
Mhm.
more. They want more opportunity, responsibility, more money. Obviously, there's a lot of different factors, but knowing when is the right time is so important. That's a great question. I'm glad you
Mhm.
shared that. Well, listen, y'all, it's 1:11 according to my time here in regards to how long we've been on, for a minute and 11 for an hour 11 minutes. If you want to ask any questions, now's the time, because we're gonna be wrapping up very soon. If you haven't already, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel at technichetips.com. Well, youtube.com/@technichetips. If you're on the channel and you have not subscribed yet, it really helps to get the word out when you do. Pause. We got a family friend of the show. It's our cousin, recruiter cousins in the building. What up, recruiter? What up, recruiter? She say, "You." Always go ahead and love on her and support her recruiter cousin. She has so
Oh
much
yeah.
that she does for the community, and she does it out of the kindness of her heart because she wants to see us win. Congratulations on your role in tech. Yes, congrats,
Thank you.
congrats. She just got promoted
Awesome.
to AE, a recruiter cousin. So she's killing in her field. You would love working with her. Yeah, so definitely so much fun. And so we're so glad that you were able to stop by the show, Tina. I hope that you get rejuvenated this weekend. I hope you
Sure.
receive all the love your way. People, if y'all want to connect with her on her LinkedIn, go ahead and connect with Tina and show her love and everything great that you can. If you have a little extra in your pocket, you want to throw it. You like coffee? I don't know if you like coffee.
Hey, I can use that coffee money and buy me some pizza.
I love it. She's like, just
Buy
cash at me.
buy
Don't
me a
even worry
pizza.
about sending. She said, "Oh, wait," she said, "No, wait, she congratulations on your promotion. My bad. I gotta put some respect to your name."
Thank you,
Ah,
cousin.
Sinead's hilarious. Oh no,
I love
yeah.
her.
No, she's good people's IG family. If y'all watching from IG, go ahead and come over to youtube.com/at Techniche Tips to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing really does help the channel to get the message out to others. So if you have not, I encourage you to do so if you found this information to be valuable to you. If not, no harm, no foul. Either way, I still love you. That's just, either way, I still love you. But thank y'all for tuning in and rocking with us. I am Joseph M. Smith, your host here at Techniche Tips. This is Tina, the new founded AE at her company, and we appreciate you rocking with us today. Y'all have a great day. And like I always say, until next time, I hope to see you on the other side. Take care, family.